Episode 2, guess what? Tag you're it. You are the boss. Thank you for joining me in Leadership 101. So let's get into it. Have you ever heard people say, or are you one of those people who says, well, I'm just learning how to be a boss? Well, I have news for you. If you're a manager or a supervisor or executive, tag you're it. You are the boss. I often tell leaders, these are your shoes. You have to step into your shoes and walk in them. Have you ever heard people say, fake it till you make it? Well, if you're the boss, you're not faking it. You're it. These are your shoes, and you must walk in your shoes. With confidence and integrity, these are your shoes, and you must quickly learn how to walk in your shoes. So in today's episode, we're going to review tips on how you, with confidence, can walk in those shoes. We're going to review accountability, ethics, and emotional intelligence. So let's get started with accountability. You must hold yourself accountable first as the leader. Be sure to take out time to review the employee handbook and familiarize yourself with what is and isn't permissible. This includes, what are the policies and procedures? What are the rules that are applicable to your job and the employer? Perhaps sometimes there might be labor relation rules, perhaps a standing operating procedure. But familiarize yourself with these rules first. This way you can hold yourself accountable first before you hold those who are following behind you accountable. You can, with confidence and integrity, as well as knowledge and fairness, hold yourself and others accountable. So, for example, if an employer rule says you are given grace of 5 minutes to be late for work, be sure that you are on time or early, but no more than 5 minutes late every single day for work. Because remember, you must hold yourself accountable to that rule first before you can hold anyone else accountable. We lead by example. Tag, you're it. You are the boss. Now we know that there are exceptions to those rules. For example, if there's a bad accident, or perhaps there was a weather event, give yourself grace, but also be sure to give those that you're leading grace as well. Now, a large part of accountability involves business ethics, which is the moral, printable policies and values that govern the way companies and individuals engage in business activities. Business ethics establishes a code of conduct that drives employees' behavior. Business ethics helps to build trust between the business and its customers. Each major organization usually has an established code of ethics. A code of ethics is a policy, a statute, or regulation that acts as a guide, and it's designed to help professionals conduct themselves honestly and with integrity while in the workplace. It ensures that employees govern themselves in an ethical manner so that they are not involved in any activity that can be morally, legally, or financially questionable. Thus, this gives the impression or sense of impropriety. Impropriety is a behavior that is dishonest, socially unacceptable, or unsuitable for a particular situation. So you see, business ethics goes hand in hand with both leadership and accountability. First, again, hold yourself accountable before you can hold others accountable. Tag, you're it, you're the boss. So now let's pivot to emotional intelligence. This is one of my favorite topics to review when we talk about tag, you're it, you're the boss. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, manage, and use emotions to guide decision making. There are 5 components to emotional intelligence. Number 1, self-awareness. If you are self-aware, as a leader, you always know how you feel, and you know how your emotions and actions can impact others around you. You must make every effort to stay in touch with how you feel and reflect on how you can make others feel around you. Being self aware in your leadership position means that you have to have a clear picture of your strengths and weaknesses. Understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and your values and what is important to you is imperative. Staff will know if you have a spine or if you're going to stand for something or fall for anything. You must challenge yourself to behave with a moral compass and humility. If your own moral compass cannot challenge you, then use the ethics code set forth by your organization. How can you be self aware? Keep a journal. Write down your thoughts. Think, can this help improve my self awareness? Slow down. When you experience anger or other strong emotions, slow down to examine why. No matter what the situation, you can always choose how you will react to it. Number 2, self-regulation. Leaders who regulate themselves rarely verbally attack others. They don't make rushed emotional decisions. They don't stereotype people or compromise their values. Self-regulation is all about staying in control of yourself, especially your negative emotions, and regulating your emotions and your responses. It's all about how you treat other people with respect. So, how can you self regulate? Take a minute and practice being calm. Step back from the situation and take a deep breath. Stay true to your values and hold yourself personally accountable for mistakes. Stay true to your code of ethics. If you don't have your own code of ethics, use the employer's code of ethics. If you tend to blame others when something goes wrong, stop. Make a commitment to admit your mistakes and face the consequences, whatever they are. You will quickly earn the respect of those around you. The third element to emotional intelligence is social skills. Leaders who do well in the social skills element of emotional intelligence are trustworthy team players. They are confident communicators. They're just as open to hearing bad news as they are with hearing good news. Leaders who have good social skills are also good at managing change. They're good at resolving conflicts, and they're very diplomatic. They are experts at getting their team to support them and be excited about the mission or project. They do not sit back and make everyone else do their work. They set the example with their own behavior. So, how can you have good social skills? Well, you must first learn conflict resolution. Leaders must know how to resolve conflict between their team members, customers, vendors. This is vital if you want to succeed as a leader. Improve your communication skills. Try avoid interrupting others whenever possible. This gives an impression that what they have to say is not important. Take your time to articulate what you want to say. Write an outline if it's necessary, and respond in complete sentences whenever possible. But be sure you are fully answering the question that your colleagues, subordinates, superiors, customers, vendors, stakeholders, etc. are asking of you. Learn how to praise others, and you can inspire your team simply by giving praise when it is earned. The fourth element of emotional intelligence is empathy. For leaders, having empathy is critical to managing a successful team. Leaders with empathy have the ability to put themselves in someone else's situation. Having an awareness and feelings is important to acknowledge and respond to them. Having an awareness of others and their feelings is important to acknowledge and respond to whatever it is that they're going through. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, respect them. Respect diversity and inclusion. This is a vital aspect of empathy. As a leader, you help develop your team members. You challenge others who are acting unfairly, and you give constructive feedback. Listen to those who need it. If you want to earn the respect and loyalty of your team, show them that you care by being empathetic. How can I be empathetic? Well, take some time to look at the situation from other people's perspective. Pay attention to body language. Do you cross your arms or move your feet back and forth when someone's speaking to you? Do you bite your lip when interacting with others as if they're taking too long to get out what they want to say? This is not positive body language, and it tells others what you really feel about the situation and what they're saying. Try to respond to their feelings. If a person feels upset or frustrated or verbally express that they are frustrated, try to affirm their feelings in areas that are true. But it must be reasonable. So, for example, you can say, Sally or Joe, I understand that you're frustrated about working extra hours. I appreciate your willingness to jump in and assist. This goes a long way. And the fifth element to emotional intelligence is motivation. Self motivated leaders work consistently towards their goals, and they must use extremely high standards for the quality of their work. Re examine why you're doing your job. Take some time to remember that you wanted this job. If you need to increase your motivation, then seek out resources such as reading materials, perhaps a conference, TED Talks. Remember, your team is counting on you. Motivation is about optimism and resilience and finding the positive in a situation, even or especially if things don't go well. So that's what we have for episode 2 in Leadership 101. We have 4 more episodes left, and we're going to be covering topics such as business etiquette next. All right, so I have that famous question for you. What type of legacy do you want to leave behind? And always remember, as long as you can read, you can achieve anything. No one is better than you, smarter than you, or more important than you. If not you, then who should have a seat at the table? Remember, tag, you're it, you're the boss. It has been great spending this time with all of you. Thank you for listening. I realize that you could have been anywhere during this time, but you chose to be here with me to build legacy and impact lives. I appreciate each and every one of you. Check me out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Podcasts. Check me out on LinkedIn, Dr. Michelle Whitmore. It will pop up as Achieving Legacy Business Consulting Firm. Check me out on my website, achievinglegacyconsultingfirm.com. Write a review, book an assessment, perhaps a training, a seminar, a conference, or a retreat with our firm. Whatever type of appointment you believe your leadership team needs, we're there for you. Until next time, be safe, be smart.